Hafide and welcome to Weekend Edition. I'm Isa Baza. Glad you could join us. Topping our news tonight, a ballistic missile threat to Guam is one of the first things people think of when discussing the recent threats from North Korea. However, one security expert tells KUAM that a less obvious danger is the potential for the rogue state to hack the island's critical infrastructure. Here's more. Last year, the idea may have seemed far-fetched. North Korea hacking the critical infrastructure of Guam. But former Air Force intelligence officer and cybersecurity expert John Dixon says it's less implausible than you might think, now that Guam is in the crosshairs between the United States and North Korea. Dixon said North Korea has aggressively improved its cyber capabilities over the past 2 years.
So they joined the ranks of Russia and China as what we call nation-state actors or nation-state attackers and threats, which means that they have substantial resources, obviously, they're their country, and they also have a motive and probably some technical talent. That's what they've really developed in the last 2-3 years.
Cyber aggression from nation-states is nothing new, with Dixon referencing the 2014 Sony hack, where Sony alleged North Korea sponsored the release of confidential company information just as it was set to premiere a movie making fun of the North Korean leader. Russia is also accused of extensive cyber attacks in the Ukraine and possibly even interference with the United States presidential elections. But when it comes to warfare, Dixon said cyber attacks would likely be geared toward critical infrastructure like the power grid.
The interesting thing about any electrical grid is it doesn't typically attract the normal hacker because there's no money there. So the people that are going, the organizations, and the attack threat that's going to go after the electrical grid are almost always going to be countries, the nation-state threat. So I would not be surprised if the North Koreans would add the electrical sector as something that would be worthy at least of reconnaissance and probing. So the nuclear risk is one that has been well documented. But this is another facet of it. When you start bumping into nation-state threats, this is part of what they do.
Guam Homeland Security Advisor George Charfers has publicly stated that boosting the island's cybersecurity capabilities is one of his top priorities. Dixon recommends implementing cybersecurity frameworks offered by the National Institute for Standards and Technology or the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center. However, the issue is on the radar for the Guam Office of Homeland Security, which has held a number of cybersecurity trainings for government employees over the past few years. How ready is Guam to respond to the aftermath of a possible attack? The Federal Emergency Management Agency handles recovery efforts and helping survivors in any disaster they are called to. So KUAM's Nick Delgado visits the FEMA warehouse to get some answers.
Is Guam ready in the event of a missile attack?
I would say we are ready to respond to the government of Guam and the Region 9 if they need our assistance.
And readiness is their mission. Marcelo Esperon is the local distribution center supervisor. Inside the FEMA warehouse on Guam, stacks upon stacks of supplies.
3,000 cots, 2,000 blankets, 4,000 tarps, 88 generators. I said 87,000 meals and 158 liters of water. FEMA here is the initial push.
Okay.
So FEMA has a distribution center in Guam, we have a distribution center in Hawaii, and we have a distribution center in California.
And it's that initial response that includes these 80-plus generators here on island to help in response to any natural or man-made disaster.
The plus, he says, is FEMA assets are already on Guam and can be given whenever requested.
And one thing that's unique for the warehouse here on island are these packed tents, which serves as temporary lodging following a disaster.
Even when disaster hits elsewhere, his team is there. At least 5 from Guam's FEMA office responded to help out in the wake of Hurricanes Harvey and Irma.
To help the folks recover.
It's efforts that keep the flow of operations for the agency going smoothly. That's why they maintain the supplies kept here as well.
So it's climate control because we store our water and our food our baby supplies in here.
And a major money saver for the federal government are these canned waters, which have a life expectancy of up to 50 years.
So whatever the case, Esperon says their main goal?
We help survivors. We don't, we help the government of Guam and CNMI. So whatever they may need.
Help to ensure those affected by any disaster get right back up on their feet. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Nick Delgado.
Thanks, Nick. A local company received a multi-million-dollar project. NAVFAC Pacific has awarded a $12.4 million contract to Black Construction Corp. for the construction of an insulated, pre-engineered, single-story metal building on Wake Island. The building will serve as the Missile Defense Agency. The project is expected to be completed by January 2019. The local government is expected to take over full control of the solid waste system by year's end. But Judge Francis Tidenko Gatewood ordered Thursday that key stakeholders must first prepare status reports to help ensure a seamless transition from federal receivership. Gatewood has set a court hearing for September 14 and wants the U.S. EPA, the Guam EPA, Guam Attorney General, and the Guam Solid Waste Authority Board to appear. She also ordered top government officials, including Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker, to show up. Gatewood appointed a receiver more than 9 years ago to open a new landfill and oversee the closure of the ORDOT dump due to violations of the Clean Water Act. A $3.7 million One Guam well installation and monitoring project will take place over the next year through collaboration between the Guam Waterworks Authority, U.S. Geological Survey, and the University of Guam Water and Environmental Research Institute of the Western Pacific. The project aims to monitor the aquifer and production capacity in relation to the military buildup. WARI Director Dr. John Jensen.
I think understands the importance of having drinking water. And this is our window into the aquifer so that we can keep track of how much drinking water we've got and how fresh it is.
GWA will install up to 7 new wells on military property, while an additional 12 will be rehabilitated. The project will allow for the observation of the island's water lens, including on military installations, to determine changes that may stem from the fluctuation of rainfall or increase in production capabilities. Dr. Jensen said the project is meant to ensure the island's water resources are managed appropriately. A revised collective bargaining agreement for teachers will be going up for approval in the next 2 weeks. According to Superintendent John Fernandez, GDOE and the Guam Federation of Teachers were able to come to agreement on the terms of the revised agreement on Labor Day. Fernandez said the lack of a union contract over the past 6 years has been a concern he's heard from teachers.
Have good relationships or not so good relationships with the management or their administrators. A lot of them just want to see something in place, just to at least be a guarantee and a recognition of the relationship between management and the teachers.
GFT membership and the Guam Education Board are expected to vote on the revised agreement on or before the next board meeting on September 19th. The agreement will then go to the Attorney General and Governor for final approval. The Guam Memorial Hospital is hosting a series of village outreach meetings to discuss its modernization plan in support of Governor Eddie Calvo's bond borrowing and tax bills to benefit the hospital. GMH Associate Administrator of Medical Services, Dr. Vince Duenas.
If you have a heart attack tonight, and you go to GMH or to any place in the States, for example, the standard of care is that when you come in with a diagnosed heart attack, we're going to be ready to do percutaneous coronary intervention. That's kind of standard of care now. But if you come to GMH and we don't have that procedure, we're going to let you complete your heart attack. That's all we can do. You're going to lose muscle, maybe even your life. But when we start to enhance and expand our capabilities, especially for heart disease at GMH, we will give you standard of care by having that procedure.
Dr. Duenas explained that GMH is hoping to add and enhance medical services that will improve the standard of care and patient outcomes. There is no sign of tuberculosis in 65% of babies and 120 parents screened for TB after potential exposure to the disease at the GMH nursery earlier this year. However, notification letters were mailed out to dozens of other parents who could not be reached via telephone for screening. Infants who have been screened should be taking medication with follow-up appointments until the baby can be tested at 6 months of age. GMH is asking all private providers to waive co-payments or deductibles for babies currently undergoing treatment for TB exposure. For more information, you can contact DPHSS at 735-7154. Jamaican Grill will be hosting its annual 9/11 commemorative luncheon at all of its restaurant locations on Monday, September 11th. The local restaurant has been offering its signature chicken and ribs meal free of charge to the island's police, firemen, paramedics, airport, and military police. All personnel must be active duty and dressed in full uniform. The 9/11 commemorative luncheon is from 10 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon. Jamaican Grill has been doing this annually to honor and commemorate the lives lost during 9/11 and also as a way to say thank you to our local heroes. Stay tuned. Next on Weekend Edition, we'll rehash some of the big stories of the past weekend. Still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers report.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. Until ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Gov Guam employees, retirees, and survivors, enroll today.
At IT&E and get double data on the network that gives you more.
If you get nervous about having dental treatment, you're not alone. An estimated 35 million adults experience anxiety or nervousness at the simple thought of visiting the dentist. As your dentist, I strive to make your visit as painless or pain-free as possible. And I frequently tell my patients that in the 21st century, if we can give you medicines to put your tooth to sleep or medicines to take an infection or toothache away, we can surely give you something to help relax you and take all fear away. No one ought to sit in a dental chair thinking of bad childhood memories or fearing injections. If you're a dental coward, but you really do want your teeth fixed, don't wait until the pain is killing you. Come in, tell us your fears, and set up an appointment. We have convinced many that dental treatment doesn't need to be scary anymore. For your helpful dental minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. You shall never know all the good a simple smile can do.
At Shell, Shell, it's about offering more than just fuel. It's about providing service to people. From hot coffees to warm welcomes, from clean bathrooms to fresh food, we're on a mission to make you leave happier than when you arrived. So whatever your journey, we're here. Welcome to service. Welcome to Shell. Serving the islands for over 30 years. Share your story at Shell Foodies Guam on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag Station Stories, hashtag Shell Guam.
Hop in, welcome to Rehash, where we recap the big stories of the weekend. One of the big stories on Friday was the flooding that we woke up to. Val, you covered that story.
Yes, I did. There was flooding all over the South. There was flooding at George Washington High School. And there was flooding in Genedo, and actually went to one of the homes and in an exclusive neighborhood, the Paradise Estates neighborhood, where a homeowner came home, was forced to come home from work, and essentially the retaining wall behind her house, there's another house above hers, came down, and the floodwaters and the waters were all over the street. There were rocks, there was debris. It was pretty terrible. The National Weather Service is kind of keeping an eye on a disturbance that's north of Truk, and it may make its way over here, but we shouldn't see too much rain throughout the weekend.
Definitely going to want to keep your eye on the weather, though. And Crystal, how about you?
In court, it actually took 4 days to impanel a jury for the retrial of accused murderer Alan Alcababa. If the name sounds familiar, it's because he was tried before. That was about 2 years ago. He went before a jury, but they could not make a unanimous decision on whether or not he was guilty. And so he's going to go again before a new set of jurors. And again, he's accused of killing his mother to collect her death benefits. She was a flight attendant, if you can recall, from the first trial. What's going to be interesting this time around is that he's indigent, he's poor, and he's unable to afford the defense expert witness that he had last time. So they're actually going to be able to play Dr. Cohen. He is a forensic pathologist. They're going to play his testimony from last time, despite the government's motion to keep that stuff out. So basically what this expert says is that it could have been accidental. The death was not necessarily a homicide. So we'll see how this trial varies from the first.
It's kind of a funny story. I actually got called in for a jury for that case, but luckily I got let off. And how about you, Nestor?
Well, one of the fallout from the North Korean missile crisis has been on the tourism industry. GVB reported that there were 7,500 cancellations, which cost the economy basically about $9.5 million. And so GVB is saying that they need to plan to kind of mitigate that. And one of the things that came out was that they pointed out that their budget was short funded by about $4 million. So I think a little bit of umbrage from the legislature. They were taken aback by that. They said they would continue to support the Guam Visitors Bureau in their efforts to kind of shore up the tourism. So, but they were kind of a little bit angered by the fact that they brought that up in connection with the shortfall.
A lot of back and forth there. And on the education side, also a little bit of back and forth between at the Guam Academy Charter School. Between a former employee and the Board of Trustees. So this former employee is alleging possible improprieties. Also, the school has been having some issues over the past couple of weeks. So classes did start late for middle and high school students. And they actually started on the past Monday without an occupancy permit in place. And so classes were again canceled. And as of Friday, they had not met all the requirements for an occupancy permit. So we'll see. Classes were supposed to start Monday, but not sure yet. That update will be posted on the school's Facebook page. And of course, if you have any news tips for us, just email us at reporters@kuam.com.
It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995 or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the
materials that helped build our homes, from caring for our land through the Adahi Itanu program to generously supporting our local charity. Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kidza Maasi Matson.
The Cheers Guam Series presents the largest wine event of the year, WineFest 2017. Enjoy an evening with over 150 wines from around the world on Friday, October 6th, as the Hyatt Regency Ballroom transforms into an international wine extravaganza. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. General admission tickets are $66 and are available at the Hyatt Deli and all 76 Circle K locations. Super premium tickets are $180 and are available at the Hyatt Deli. Purchase your tickets today. Must be 21 years or older to attend. Savor the wines of the world at WineFest 2017.
Activate a new account at ITNE and get double data on the network that gives you more.
All right, everybody, Paul Tapau is here, an officer with the Guam Police Department. Of course, you know your friend and mine, finding new ways to keep us safe. And Paul, you've got a really innovative way now that people can actually communicate, send tips, and make sure that we're doing our part to make sure that everyone has a good quality of life here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, last week when we talked and I showed you the new feature in which the Guam Crime Stoppers, underwent in construction-wise into our website. We want to let the viewers know out there that, we were experiencing some technical difficulties with our tip software due to some construction issues that we were doing. And we were pleased to announce that we've brought the TipSoft program, the online tipping back up to par, and added to that, we have an app that's available to our users out there or to people who want to help combat crime. The app is featured under P3 Tips, and you can easily obtain it for free by visiting the Apple Store or the Google Play Store.
Very nice. So it works for either platform. And I've actually seen it. It works really, really fast, and it's very easy, but more importantly for people, it makes sure that you're anonymous if you're sending a tip. Because a lot of people want to help out. Not everybody's okay with saying maybe on Facebook where it's like, hey, here's my identity attached to that. They just want to say, hey, I saw something, can you guys please look into it?
Yeah, absolutely. The software, the P3 software in which we're using, and they come under the Anderson software program. Beautiful, beautiful partnership in which we've established with the Guam Crime Stoppers and, of course, with P3 software, is that, they practice anonymity and they stick with anonymity. They're giving the user the power in the palm of their hands to submit information about a crime via through the Apple smartphone that you have, or the Samsung's again, the Google Play Store softwares that you have, and they practice anonymity, and they hold it to the T, where you can have the sense of confidence in remaining anonymous by submitting a tip using your mobile smartphone.
And of course, the emphasis and the big practical effect of this is on speed, because we as citizens, if we see something, we can literally do it if we're across the street and say, hey, let's take a look at what's going on, or I happen to see something. And I'm sure for you guys on your side, on the back end, officers can get that information and start looking into it way faster than before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't have to wait to go down and pick up the call taker's information from the 477 helpline. It's a beautiful form, it's a beautiful form of communication, but with the having the availability in the palm of your hands or in your laptop or in your home, your home and the comforts in the confines of your home, if you're able to submit that tip, that's actual information that we are looking for in help solving or bringing closure to the case. And that one tip that you submit, and I stress this all the time, can be that crucial piece of the puzzle that our detectives have been looking for in closing the case. So, I encourage all the viewers out there, visit our website, guam.crimestoppersweb.com. Go into the link that will take you to submit a tip, and take a look for yourself about the upgrades and what we did and the features that we provide to keep Guam safe.
Now, text is really, really good, and text can go a long way, but what should happen if I actually see something that's going on. You know, catch somebody in the act. What if I take a picture, or what if I actually have like a video clip that I'd like to share? Does your app give us the ability on your website to send? Excellent.
Yes, you can.
I can send you guys full frame video.
Yes, absolutely. You can upload and everything. It gives you the power to upload and texting. I want to remind the callers, but if you do actually see a crime in progress, please call 911. Don't hesitate. Call 911. But if you have information of, let's say, drug activity, and you see a lot of activity happening at a particular house, go on and snap a photo. Let us see the cars and everything. You know, that photo, it uploads into the program, and I can easily receive that and send it to the proper you know, investigators, such as our drug investigators, our criminal investigators that do property crime. So it's just a matter of receiving the information. And that's the beautiful thing about the program, the PT program, is that you can snap a photo, upload it, and send it my way.
Excellent. So once again, they can check in the Apple App Store or Google Play, and they just search for P3 app, or can they search for Guam Crime Stoppers?
P3 Tips.
P3 Tips.
Yeah, go under P3 Tips, and then it'll take you to the portal and everything, which you can actually download for free. If you have any questions, just visit our website at guam.crimestoppersweb.com.
All right, we do appreciate it. That's a wonderful tool.
Oh, thank you again. Thank you again for sharing this with the community.
All right, please stay tuned, everybody. Go out and grab that app during commercial break, and we'll see you when we come back.
Put $500 in your backpack during Nissan's Back to School Relief event. Purchase a new Nissan with payments starting as low as $76 per pay period and get $500 cash back. School supplies, uniforms, lunches, load it all up in a new Nissan, including the kids. With payments starting as low as $76 per pay period and with $500 cash back, you get an A+. For more back to school deals, go to NissanGuam.com or see your favorite sales associate at Nissan Upper Tumon.
It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995, or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Find the car of your dreams at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday, Isabella Uggan, Alelia Love, Nina, Nino, Valino, Grandma Uggan, and the family. And a big happy birthday from the entire KUAM familia to my boss, Marie Calvamonge. And happy birthday, Anna Nafati Easley. Love your sisters, Carmen, Carlina, Sario, and Cameron, as well as the entire Nafati family. And also a big happy birthday to Ken Quintaniza, our former reporter here at KUAM. Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
My children lost a father, and I lost my husband and a friend to suicide.
About a year ago, my son